still fucking images. I think that is a very fair criticism of the game. Now, there are a couple of cutscenes, but they're minimally animated. It's more like action figures that you're looking at. And even still, even in those cutscenes, it'll do like a Kamehameha and then freeze. And then you'll have the character getting hit by it go, ah! And then just stop again. It's basically like fucking stop motion, but terribly done. Like regular stop motion looks better than the cutscenes in Dragon Ball Zero. Like, again, I know this story's been told a million times, but for this price tag, if you're going to have the story mode in here, just do something a little bit better than that. And they also skip around so much in the story and don't really explain anything, so if you don't know the Dragon Ball story, you will have no fucking clue what is happening here. Because it is nonsensical. They don't actually even tell the story. It's as if you ask ChatGPT to give like a 50-word summary per arc of the Dragon Ball Z story. Now they have different POVs which help to fill in the blanks, but not very much. They do have a really cool idea though with this, where you can actually change the path, go down a different branching path. So, for example, like the very beginning of Raditz, you can choose to do it solo. You fucking log on Raditz and say, Piccolo, we don't need you. And if you defeat Raditz in a quick enough time, you'll get a different path that's not canon, not what we've already experienced. Which is cool. It's not like the thing ever, but it's a fun little addition to it. And they also have another quirky little addition where when you're in one of those moments where there's like some minimal animation of characters, you can go into first-person mode. I mean, that's just kind of nice. Like it's I don't know, cool. Makes it a little more cinematic, I guess, even though the characters are just standing around. It's at least different. But yeah, overall, I was super underwhelmed by the story mode episodes, all that. Luckily, though, that's not where you're going to be spending most of your time. You'll probably grind that just to get the Dragon Balls so you can make a wish and get more characters or something like that. I doubt anyone's going to be playing for the episodes, but I did want to mention that it is pretty lackluster there. Where you're going to be spending most of your time is probably the multiplayer. The multiplayer is so good, and I actually haven't had any real problems with the netcode, and I expected it to be like really sloppy. I thought it'd be like very laggy pretty often, because oftentimes fighting games, especially anime fighting games. Not the case here. It is silky smooth, very smooth so far, and it's pretty creative. So you have a couple different options. If you want to do ranked, for example, you can do like a single battle where each of you and your opponent will pick a character. This is the traditional game mode. I think most people familiar with the series know, love, respect. But they gave us a really nice surprise. There is another mode here that I think is actually much better and really, really good. So you pick a team. You have DP points, which you can allocate to different characters. Each character has a different value of DP, depending on a variety of factors, like how effective they are, how much health they have, shit like that. So you'll construct a team with this total amount of DP points. You can have 1, 2, or up to 5 characters if you manage your DP that way. You don't have to have 5 characters. You can front load the fuck out of it by taking like an Ultra Instinct character or an expensive fusion, and then just having a second character be a step or 2 below that. So you can 2 characters as opposed to 5. My strategy, and the one that I have been absolutely ripping asses apart with, is I start with Janinba, who is my favorite Dragon Ball Z villain. I even have a statue of him here. I am a huge Janinba fan, but I never with him outside of just one movie. Janinba costs 7 DP, so he is my first character that I start to fight with in order to just fucking start hitting him with frying pans. So Janinba leads my squad, followed by Krillin, followed by Chaozu, followed by Hercule, and then followed by nameless Frieza Force soldiers. So it's Janinba and then 4 weenies. So Krillin, Hercule, Chaozu, and Frieza Force soldiers don't cost much DP, so I can have Janinba as my super strong character, and then 4 weenies to try and like whittle down whoever I don't kill with Janinba. And it's a really effective strategy so far. I also want to give a special shout out to Chaozu. I think Chaozu is somewhat busted for his DP cost. He has no animation, he doesn't have a running animation, he doesn't have a moving animation, he doesn't have a flying animation. He is basically just out there fucking T-posing, and yet his moveset is actually super fast and hard to counter. So in this game, defense is extraordinarily important. You need to know when to counter, when to vanish, when to perception. It's a lot. There's a lot of nuance to it. And you can kind of mash your way through it sometimes for sure, but the best players are going to know all of the timings and they're going to be able to get out of these. Chaozu, though, I think has mix-ups that not even the best players are familiar with yet. So, I think this squad is devastating at the moment. I'm doing really well climbing and ranked with it, and I just think it's a really fun format. You have your team lineup, which is always going to be. You have wacky lineups, you have like standard meta lineups with Ultra Instinct and all of that if you want to, but it just makes it so everything plays out differently. You're always going to be going up against different teams for the most part. You can always get really creative and theory craft what's the best use of DP. Is it good to go in high strong or is it good to just go on with really strong, you know? It just makes it super enjoyable. You can have giant characters too, like you can do base form Jimbo, which is a giant character. I think he sucks, like I don't think you're smart to do that, because he's easily punished and doesn't really do much. But you can if you want to go in there with all giant. It's so fun. It's a great game mode. And now let's really dive into the nitty-gritty of the gameplay, because even though these modes are really fun, they'd fall apart if the game itself wasn't enjoyable. And it is super enjoyable. It's hard to play this game without a smile on your face, I feel. The gameplay is one that I think appeals both to casual audience and people that actually want a, skill ceiling to it, where there's a lot of creative skill expression. I think this offers both. So you can kind of mash your way through it, for sure, and it'll get you some level of success against other people that are mashing, but you will hit a wall when you start going against people that actually bother to learn all of those things. And it's really, really well thought out. The characters play similarly, like you're always going to have characters using their light attack strings mixed in with like their heavies, which will stun so you can extend your combos, like combo cinders. You'll launch a character away, and if you're someone that's mashing, you might not know how to follow that up. You won't get like advantage combos behind them, you won't be able to dragon rush or start punishing them for stinger combos, but you can, as a master, still get the launch. You can still dash over there in time, or hit them with a super sword. Like, there is just so many options that I think it's a really fun experience. And this is someone that doesn't like to try to like this whole like kick back, relax, just play some fucking fun time. It's really well designed. But let's talk about it on a deeper level, because the mechanics offer so much depth, like every game and I really appreciate that. For example, if you're getting comboed out the wazoo, if you're just mashing, you probably won't get out of that combo, especially if you can getting hit from behind is a very hard thing to get out of if you haven't like learned the defensive advantage. But what you can do is you can super counter. You can perfectly time to mix things out of it. Super counter. Like, there's a lot of ways of getting out of these situations. You have to manage your skill points effectively. So skill points in this game allow you to do different things. Not all effective, but some of them are. So, for example, if you have center controls, you'll press R3 and you'll put skill points if you're getting pummeled, and it'll get you out of there if you time it. But if you're also good on offense, you can actually turn that around. So if they press the R3 and use these skill points to get out of it with the counter, you yourself can respond to that and try and keep the combo going. Like, there's just so much back and forth. Like, I am very excited to be at the highest level of this, because it's going to look fucking absurd. I've already seen some crazy clips with like infinite vanishing, where players that are really good squared off, and they had the timer down on the characters, so they were just like vanishing 100 times. They had all the perfectly timed perceptions and Z counters and everything. It is so exciting to watch and to play. I cannot praise the gameplay enough. I love it. And I think most people will, whether you're a huge Dragon Ball fan or not. I just think it's super. There's also modes outside of multiplayer. Like, if you want to do just more single solo grinding, you don't have to just do the episodes. They have custom battles. And these are like user-created battles with difficulty that far exceeds beyond what the episodes offer. I found the campaign to be kind of like a steamroll, especially if you just go into sparking mode. The AI doesn't really know how to respond to instant punches. But outside of story mode, I will say, there are a couple of moments in the episodes that are pretty